Hey, what's going on, Trav? Welcome to my channel. So, as it's the Lionsgate portal, the A8 portal, the energy is a bit intense, and I've just done a meditation with my little spiritual, my little spiritual group or whatever, to try ground in the energy of the portal. So my guides have been telling me to kind of just give out a reading to see what can be released at this time, because we're going into a new, I don't know, new energies are coming in. And for the last 2 days, I haven't had much sleep. I've been going to bed at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, the energies are quite intense. So I'm feeling them. And the Lionsgate portal energies, they're going to be here for another week or so, or 2 weeks. And then we're going to have a full moon or a new moon coming up. So we've got a lot going on energy wise. And the outside energy has just been a bit crazy as well. Went shopping and people was arguing, and it's just a bit wild outside the energy right now. So people are going to be feeling it on every different level depending where you're at in your journey. So yeah, I'm just going to check in with the collective to see what can be released at this time, what's stopping you from becoming the greatest version of yourself. It's going to be a timeless reading, so when you come across this reading is for you, and it's going to be a general reading for all the star signs as well. And also, I don't like promoting, but if any of you are interested in a personal reading, feeling a bit lost on your journey, you can always send me an email and purchase a personal reading, and we can go a bit more in depth into your reading as well, because the personal ones go a bit more, they're a bit more closer to home, you know. Alright, so let's see what's popping anyway. The first card is surrender to your full power. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. So it is time for you to step into your full power. You need to leave situations or distance yourself from situations that are making you making you feel small, or taking a lot of your energy. Like, I don't know, if you've got friends or family members that make you feel small or make you not feel heard, you gotta question if they're worth you giving your energy to them. Because as we're going into the age of Aquarius, or in the age of Aquarius, we're being called to, we're not looking externally for what's it called we're not looking externally for guidance. The guidance is coming from internal. So you're being called to stand in your power and be your own individual self, not looking outside yourself for the answers, because everything that you have is within. So yeah, you're being called to stand in your full power, man, and question yourself, what is holding you back from being able to stand in your full power and be at your full potential? Are you standing in your own way of that? The next card is surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So yeah, this kind of ties in with the first card. So you need to stop putting other people first. You need to start putting yourself first. As healers, empaths, light workers, whatever you want to label it, us, we tend to walk around as the wounded healer. As in my early stages in my journey, I'll be trying to heal everyone else while I'm walking around damaged and broken myself. So of the recent years, I've been putting more energy into myself, and then once my cup's kind of full, then I can share the overflow. So this is what you're being called to do, basically. Put yourself first, and set healthy boundaries with yourself and others, because as empaths, we tend to have like poor boundary skills because we're trying to help everyone and save everyone. And yeah, you don't need to be people pleasing. If people don't like you for who you are, you need to question if they're worthy of your time and energy, man. Because some people ain't worth your time and energy, and some people want to stay the same and don't want to change. So yeah. Then the next card is surrender fear. let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. So yeah, you're being called to let go of your fear. Fear is all ego based. So you want to be coming from a more loving place, because that's more spirit. So if you kind of the way I kind of do it, if you talk lovingly to yourself, to the ego, like as if you're talking to a child or your best friend, if you talk to yourself that way, the ego, it kind of feels better and heard, if that makes sense. And you can talk about your fears, like, yeah, why am I feeling this way? Why do I feel scared? Or what is stopping me? Blah blah blah. And then you can start unveiling the questions, and you start getting the answers and stuff, and start seeing where you are stopping yourself. So you need to let go of fear. Check out a book by Louise, I can't remember her bloody name. Louise Hay, I think it's her name, I don't know. But it's called Fear the Fear and Do It Anyway. It's an amazing book to basically face your fear. And fear is basically an illusion, and it can stop a lot of people from doing their wildest dreams, and yeah, and stepping outside their comfort zone, you know, because of fear. But you outside your comfort zone, that's where the real world begins, you know. Like, there's so many opportunities and abundance outside of your comfort zone. So you're being called to challenge your fears at this time. Some of you may be working with Saturn energies, so some of you may be Capricorns as well. There's a lot of fire, so some of you may also be fiery and fiery, working with the fire element, or be a fire star sign: Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. The next card is surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and ecstasy there. So some of you are being called to kind of get more in touch with nature. Some of you may be spending a lot of time indoors. And being in nature just recharges your batteries fully. And grounding is so important. If you're on your journey, I recommend grounding, like just going out and just touching Mother Earth with your feet or hands. The recommended time to stay grounded for is about 15 minutes. And there's a lot of healing benefits to that, but just being in nature will recharge you anyway. And grounding will take out a lot of the excess energy and electromagnetism that we're holding, because grounding neutralizes that. So yeah, you've been called to go out and spend some time in nature, guys. If you can't get out into nature, do some gardening around the house, eat some grounding foods. If you bit, some of these may be up in your head a lot. If you've been having a lot of headaches and just in your head, you need to go outside and ground, because the energy is getting blocked and it needs to travel down. People think that ascension is about raising your vibration. Yes, it is, and eliminating certain things, but it's also about grounding the energy down, yeah? The next card is surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, passionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So some of you is being called to, some of you are still guarded, so you might be still healing from a past relationship or past love, or just been treated badly in the past, and it's made you shut down your heart chakra, so you're scared to open up and connect with people. I'm getting more of a divine feminine energy, so this can be masculine, like you can be a man or female with the divine feminine energy. But yeah, be more open, and it's about being vulnerable. When you get to a certain stage in your journey, you learn that being vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. Because you have to be vulnerable to be able to connect and be open with people, you know. And just being honest, you know, and just being, but you got to be mindful and use your discernment on who you're being open and vulnerable with, because some people can take advantage of that. Just to let you guys know. Surrender surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more powerful way, stay centered and hear someone out. then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So some of you need to just work more on your communication skills and not take things so personally, yeah? Because sometimes if we're having an argument, we get defensive and want to stick up for ourselves when all you may have to do is actually listen, yeah? Not be defensive, just listen and you might see you actually messed up. And don't let pride and all ego get in the way, because some people mess up and they refuse to say, yeah, I messed up. But when that happens, you're not helping. If you've messed up, just say, okay, I messed up, own it, and then move on. Not go around being defensive for no reason. Some of you may be a bit defensive because of past issues that still need healing. Trying to stay hydrated. I've been so bad with the water. When you have ADHD, you'd be walking around all day without drinking, and then you get home, it's like, oh shit, I ain't drunk all day, and then man will drink like 2 litres in one go and all that. But yeah, don't be so defensive. Be more open and vulnerable, man. Being defensive, you've got something to hide, or you're scared of being open and vulnerable, you know? What do you feel that you need to protect? What needs protecting? And another thing that keeps coming to me is, you see, body fat, and people that build up, like, want to get really big. That's just protection, yeah? It's like the body's way of protecting itself because it feels vulnerable. So the more healing you do and stuff, the fat will just melt away. And if you want, it depends if you're doing bodybuilding or whatever. But yeah, the more vulnerable and more healing you are, you don't feel so you don't need to feel so offended and attacked. So you actually lose weight faster because you don't feel protected. Don't feel that you need as much protection, if that makes sense. The next card is surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So some of you need to be taking action at this time and stop procrastinating. Procrastinating is a killer, yeah? Sometimes we just need to act without thinking. Usually I try to count to like 3, 2, 1 and just do it. Or I need to do it straight away, because if I start overthinking, I just won't do it, innit? So procrastination, yeah, you need to try and eliminate that. If you've got something that you need to be done, just do it and get it out of the way, so it's done. It's done, and you can move on. Because if you don't do it, it's always there, still lingering in your mind, if that makes sense. So, I need to do this, I need to do that. But when you're not taking action, it's just long, innit? But we all procrastinate at times, it's okay. But sometimes there needs to be action, yeah? The next card is surrender to passion. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. So some of you are a bit kind of disconnected from your inner child. You may need to reconnect or do some inner child healing to find out what your passion is. Most of the time your passion is linked to your childhood. So for me, painting, drawing, music, art, exploring, traveling, exercise, like I've got photography, my list goes on. But when I'm out of sync, when I'm going through stuff, I lose all of that, and I need to bring myself back because I've got so many passions, I love so many things. But when I'm going through it, I get disconnected and I lose sight of that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm lost myself and I don't know what to do and da 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 da. But yeah, so being called to find your passion. And the only way by finding your passion is by trying different things. If you're doing the same thing, you may need to broaden your perspective and try something new. Step outside your comfort zone, like the fear card said. Because the only way by finding out something you don't like is by trying it. And the only way you will find out if you like doing something is by trying something new, if that makes sense. Some of you are really artistic and may like write poetry or books or music is what I'm getting. Music is a good way of self-expression. as well. Just any form of self-expression, you know, because when you find your passion, like you go into this different zone. It's like time stops moving, and you're just in the flow. Just do it, just in sync. It's like I was writing music. Like I've been working on a song, and I was working on it for a few hours, and it felt like I was on it for minutes, and it was like, dude, it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just writing the lyrics and going over the beat and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I was just in a different world. It's like, oh shit, man, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, yeah, I just kind of got lost, and it just took me away. I just went to a different place, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're being called to kind of explore your passions, try different things, make a little list of stuff that you want to try. You don't have to try it, but at least you got something to aim to find your passion. Some of you may like gardening. I don't know. Some of you may like, I don't know. Yeah, only you will know what your passion is. You know. And then the last card is surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. So some of you are giving your energy way too much to people, and you need to find more balance in that, because as empaths and stuff and healers, we tend to be giving in nature, and other people tend to be taking in nature. Yeah, so it's about setting boundaries. Learn when enough is enough, and be mindful of your time and energy. Some people will just drain the life and energy out of you. It don't have to be physical things. Some people will want to just use you as an emotional dumping ground. Yeah, so learn when to set limits and to say, yeah, enough is enough, because some people will just tell you all their problems. You can give them advice and they still won't take the advice, and they'll just stay in that same cycle, and the lesson will keep repeating until the lesson is learned, right, guys? But yeah, also remember that there is no limits as well. So the card says set limits, yeah, on your time and boundaries and stuff. But the universe is limitless, yeah. Whatever you want, you can have. You just got to put your mind to it, and you can manifest it into reality. So yeah, if you felt the reading resonated, or you're kind of currently dealing with some of this stuff at the moment, hit the comments and let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna hit you guys up real soon with another video. I might do some little shorts later on as well, because I know a lot of people like the shorts as well. But yeah, this was just a little general reading to see what needs to be let go of during the Lionsgate pool. Anyway, peace, love and light, tribe, and I'm gonna hit you guys up real soon.